Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So we are talking today about the Great British Protest, the Great British National Protest on Dover Beach. As we speak right now, ladies and gentlemen, there is a crowd amassing on Dover Beach. Now, I'm looking at this crowd now, guys. I've got a live stream open, and I've got to admit, guys, okay, I don't think they've got the numbers that they were expecting. I'm saying the numbers are in the hundreds, but remember, guys, it's relatively early doors at the moment. So we are talking about the protest on Dover Beach. Listen, guys, okay, I'll tell you what I keep saying to everybody who I meet. These national changes that are coming, it's not no one person is going to lead this. You're not going to be able to vote for someone. You're not going to be able to give someone their money. There's no one person, organization, group of peoples that are going to give this sort of change, guys, okay? Real change is going to come at local level, guys, okay? Real change is going to come at local level, local people taking, what did that guy say? Large and in charge. And that's where that's where change is going to come, guys. Really, that's where I feel it's going to come. So I'm looking at the scenes now, guys, from Dover Beach, and it does look a little bit underwhelming, guys. I'm not going to lie, it looks a little bit underwhelming. Lots of Union flags, lots of St. George's crosses, lots of Scottish flags. It does look like the great national protest in Dover has started. Again, I don't think they've got the numbers, guys. I don't think the numbers have got there, and it just looks like a lot of people standing around. Anyway, right, let me see what I can find on X, guys. Let me see what I can find on X. In fact, let me get some of these messages, guys. Hang on, let me get some messages. Debbie Doobs is saying my messages are not showing. Yes, they are, Debbie Doobs. In fact, you know what, Debbie Doobs? I'm even going to pin that one to let you know that your messages are being shown. Good morning, everyone. In fact, it's not morning, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Or maybe you're watching on YouTube later and it is morning. Joshua Harrison, good morning. Again, it's not good morning. Or was it morning when I got on? I know it's afternoon now, guys. Officially, it is afternoon. Good afternoon, Sharon Owen. Good afternoon, Four Paws. Googly, he's saying, Googly on TikTok is saying, Sean, it's all on record. You were right. They're funded by the state. Who are we talking about there, Google it? Who are we talking about, the state? Are we talking about the migrants? Are we talking about the protesters? Are we talking about the RNLI? If you can give me a little bit more context to that, buddy, who are funded by the state? Silence is saying, hi all. Rummy UK, your first message, Rummy UK. Rummy UK just subscribed. Rummy UK, I hope you're going to be an avid contributor to this channel. Welcome to you and your family. Jim Prothrow is saying, good morning, Sean. It's afternoon. Debbie Doobs is saying hi. Rummy is saying, Dover not easy to get down to from Devon. Debbie Doobs is saying, man, we've read that. Googly saying, I heard there was thousands yesterday. Listen, guys, the scenes on the beach in Dover right now, guys, okay? The scenes on Dover on the beach right now, it looks like, I don't think they've got the numbers that they were expecting, guys, okay? I don't think they've got the numbers that they were expecting. Googly saying there's videos of these lefty protesters being transported by the police. It puts the police in a difficult position, guys. Look, ladies and gentlemen, okay, and I need to let me caveat this before, not even caveat. Let me give you a little bit of an. I think I need to say this every live stream I do. I'm a veteran. I've spent time in the military, obviously. Well, I wouldn't be a veteran. I've spent time in support of the police. I want a strong police force in this country. I want a strong military, and I want a strong government. So when I'm critical of the government, when I'm critical of the policing, when I'm critical of, when I'm critical of everyone, it's with that, it's with that underlying direction. Now, when I talk about the police, I like to talk about them as objectively as I can. Now, I do know a lot of police. Well, probably don't know them anymore. But I used to work with police officers, and all the police officers I used to work with, they were good guys. They were solid guys. So what I will say is the police get put in difficult positions. Now, what we're talking about here is the scenario, the situation the other day in Epping. The other day, the situation from Epping. Do you know what? I was actually going to do a. Hang on. Debbie, I was actually going to do a video saying that I think this is going to be a bit of a flop in Dover Beach, but I didn't want to throw any negativity on it, so I didn't do that video. But listen, guys, it does look like it's a bit of a flop at the moment in Dover Beach, at Dover Beach. Hang on. Yeah. So when the police get in these positions where they're doing public order, they're trying to crowd manage. They're trying to do crowd management. They're in very difficult positions because they have groups of people that are vulnerable, and they have to protect those vulnerable people. If the police just left them to get savaged by a group of X, Y, or Z, that wouldn't be very, I don't think that would be very professional. So when you see the police doing things, and it's very difficult, guys, okay, when you're in those positions. Oh, hang on. What just happened? What just happened? Something just happened. Something just happened. Something just jumped up on my screen. But listen, guys, if you're just joining today, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining, we are talking about the Great British Protest that is on Dover Beach right now. I'm looking at a live stream of it now, guys. I've got to admit, I've got to be honest with you guys, it's not looking like the most ferocious. It's not looking like the most, I think they're going to get I'm saying there's maybe like 200 people max here. There's a parachute regiment flag. So do you know what? I probably know them. So there's a live stream right now, guys, from Dover Beach, and there's a parachute regiment flag underneath amusements and refreshments and bar. I think that's what it is. So Dover Beach, refreshments and bar. There is a parachute regiment flag just underneath that. Maybe they're going to go in the bar. People handing out stickers, people handing out leaflets. More people are coming, though, guys. More people are coming. More people are coming. They're in the wrong place to catch the migrants, to be fair. That's not where the migrants are landing. But listen, guys, it does look like there's more people turning up to this. Restaurant and bar. Sorry, the parachute regiment flag is underneath the restaurant and bar. I thought it said refreshments and bar. But yeah, it does look like it's. I was expecting more numbers, guys. I really was. I was expecting more numbers. Again, when you choose somewhere like Dover, and again, this guy who's organising it. Look, guys, I've done a few videos about this guy, and I don't want to be negative to anyone who's you can tell this guy's passionate, but he clearly doesn't understand. And again, I'm not being negative when I say this. A lot of people who are trying to do something, they're trying to do something, but they don't understand what to do. They're trying to help, but they don't know where to put their help. They don't know where to channel that energy. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, I keep saying this, and I'll keep saying this till I'm blue in the face, okay? These big protests, I don't think they change anything. I really don't. Oh, there's a Templar turned up. There's a guy turned up in full Templar outfit, but he's got Crocs on, I think. I don't know if that's, I don't know if Crocs is traditional Templar wear, but, whatever. So, guys, listen, yeah, the live stream that I'm looking at now from Dover Beach, I don't think the numbers have got there that they expected. There's quite a few people there, guys, but it's nowhere near a protest that you would expect of this side. But let me go back quickly. So when people are trying to help, when people are trying to do something, like these people now, although their intentions are good, sat around a beach. They're literally on deck chairs, sat around a beach on deck chairs. Like, what do we think this is going to change, guys? Okay. What do we think this is going to change? Do you think Keir Starmer's going to watch this live stream and say, Angela, close in. What? Bring Jess. David. What? No, David can't come. He's giving money away. All right. Okay. All right. No worries. Right. Get all the top team in. Right. We've got 200 people at Dover Beach. Right, close the borders, 200 people at Dover Beach. Listen, I don't want to be and I know that when I know when I'm talking about this, guys, it sounds like I'm being negative. I'm not. I'm just being realistic, guys. Okay, I'm just being realistic. Okay, real change is going to come. Excuse me. Real change is going to come at local level. Real change is going to come, real movement, real dynamics, a real shift is going to come when local people mobilize and do things in their local community. Like, how many of these people on how many people on these beaches now have spent their own money, taken a day off work, booked a hotel, well, probably not booked a hotel in Dover, actually, gone down there and spent their own money going down to Dover. So, and I'm just cautious, guys, of what will actually come from this. And I would speculate that, not that much is actually going to come from this. Right, let me jump over and get some comments, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're on now. Bit of an ad hoc live stream today, guys, okay? Bit of an ad hoc live stream. I'm looking at open source social media now, guys, about what's happening in, hang on. I don't think they've got the numbers that they were expecting, guys. I really don't. Let me just Google the thing, guys. Hang on. What is it? The Great British National Protest. Right. Let's see what's on there. Let's see what's on their X page. Right, not much is on their X page. So hang on a minute, guys. I'm just reading this now of the Great British National Protest, and this is what they posted on the 16th of July. I have decided that phase 3 is going to be very different. We are on the brink of civil war. The recent announcements involving the cover-ups of the Afghan refugees have only exacerbated things. When I started this, I promised to up the ante. I promised to hold the government to account. Okay, so first of all, guys, I mean, look, I know people are trying to help, but this just comes along, this just comes along as the Messiah, doesn't it? Like, I'm the Messiah. When I started this, I promised to up the ante. I promised to hold the government to account. Look, guys, okay, one person can't do this. This is not what one person can do. We should stop putting faith in one person, and put faith in yourself. I think that's my overarching message on this channel, okay? Put faith in yourself. Stop expecting other people to come and help you. When I started this, I promised to up the ante. I promised to hold the government to account. Countless protests don't do this. Okay, right, yeah. So fair. So there we are, guys. Yeah, I think he's come to the realization that I came to that I did a video about it when they started this thing, and I said, look, these protests are great, they're fantastic, lots of people turn up, you all wave the flags and nothing happens, and that is the reality. I think this guy's realizing now. Look, guys, if anybody knows this guy and wants to reach out, I can tell him exactly what to do. But organizing protest after protest after protest and getting out, it won't change anything, guys, okay? And soon people are going to understand this. Now, the problem here is they're going to understand this, but when you understand that, you're kind of at a broken stage already. So that's when people do crazy things. We need to unite. We need to stand as one and lock this country down for weeks at a time until we are listened to. Nobody's going to do that, guys. That's not going to happen. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. Do you know why it's a fantasy? People are selfish. People are selfish, guys. And ultimately, that's why it's not going to happen. I'm just reading this off his latest post. We need to stand together. We need to lock this country down for weeks at a time. We need to work towards the same goal in unison. He's right. He's right in what he's saying. But, I'm realistic, guys, okay? I'm realistic on what's going to happen. And no way in a million years is everybody in the United Kingdom going to quit work. People are greedy. People have got their bills to pay. People will always be thinking, oh, if everybody else does it, I don't have to do it. So where I agree with him, I'm a realist, guys, okay? I'm a realist, and I understand the direction of travel. I understand that things are going to happen at local level, guys. That's where it's going to happen. It's going to happen at local level. these big protests where one person's going to stand up. Do you know what happens when one person stands up, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, you know exactly what happens. So today is the day. So today is the day he's just put on the on his thing 1 hour ago. So that is it, guys. 1 hour ago, that's all that's on his website. That's all that's on the X page. So I was half expecting, I was expecting a live feed on there, guys. I was expecting a live feed there, guys. Okay. But no, there's no live feed. It doesn't look like it's a bit of a flop. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, like yesterday, I wanted to do a video last night. Saying, and I don't care if people are going to say, oh, but Sean, you didn't say it. Oh, but Sean, you, like, you know what, guys, I do plenty of videos that happen the next day. What I didn't want to do yesterday, I didn't want to put a video out saying, I think that this protest in Dover is going to be a flop. I didn't want to do that because I genuinely didn't want it to be a flop. So I didn't do the video. It does look now, guys. I mean, listen, I'm looking at a live stream of Dover Beach, and I mean, yeah, there's people there, but nowhere near in the numbers that you would you know, they were talking about. You know, millions of people turning up. I'd say there's less than 1,000. I'd say there's less than 500. There's a couple of guys walking around in full Templar outfit. One's got Crocs on. I can't see what the other's wearing. You know, lots of Union flags, lots of, you know, and, you know, when you're planning these protests, guys, all right, just a quick one for you, right? If you're planning a protest, if you're planning to organize one of these things, it's got to be in a centralized location. It can't be at the back end of nowhere where it's difficult to get down to. I mean, Dover is literally like, Dover's not close for everyone. So straight away, you limit the amount of people that can turn up. You know, I would speculate, again, look at the timings, look at the dates. You know, kids broke up for school yesterday. Well, they did where we are. So I would say that a lot of people went out drinking last night. They woke up this morning and they're laid in bed. And that's the reality, guys, you know, and people kind of don't take these things into consideration. Got to take in the weather to consideration as well. British weather, guys, you can't really count on the British weather. So I guess that's hit and miss. Right, let me get the comments on TikTok, guys, and then I'll get the comments on TikTok. Then I will jump over to guys. Listen, I'm not sure if I can get all the comments on YouTube and X, but I will definitely get the comments on. I'll definitely get all the comments on TikTok. Benny is saying, "Oh, hang on." Debbie Doobs, that's a reload her page. Guys, listen, can you do the thing? I know I don't say this enough. Can you do the thing, please? Can you hit the screen? Like, comment, subscribe, share, bell notification, all those things that help this channel grow, guys, okay? I really do appreciate it. Oh, so the guy's just turned up and the camera's zoomed into him. So he's got like, oh, by the beard of Zeus, he's got like some guy standing at the side of him with body armor on. Oh, guys, this is painful. Guys, this is painful. This is painful to watch. This is absolutely painful to watch. There's a guy. Oh, guys. Man. Oh. I don't want to be negative right now, guys. I don't want to be negative. The wrong image is here totally, guys. This is the wrong image, guys, okay? There's a guy, so the guy who's organizing this, you know, and I know he's sincere, and I know he wants to do the right thing, and believe me, guys, okay, I want him to succeed more than anyone. He's just turned up, and he's got a bodyguard with him. Now, the bodyguard has got body armor on. He's got a big beard. And he's got glasses. He's got like a green hoodie with his sleeves rolled up. Ladies and gentlemen, right? I've done close protection and diplomatic security at the highest levels. All right. Oh, guys, I'm just gonna leave it there, guys. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it there and get the rest of these comments until something happens on the screen. But yeah, the guy has turned up. Whoever he is, whatever he is the guy who's organised this thing. You know, I can't help but think that he's looking at the amount of people the amount of people that have turned up and thinking this must be a flop. This has got to be a flop, guys, because there's under 500 people there. Yeah. Anyway, let me jump up and get the rest of the comments. Debbie Doobs is saying the weather hasn't helped. Not many. Debbie Doobs is also saying not many live streams in Dover yet. Yeah. Do you know why there's not many live streams in Dover? Because there's not many people there. Sharon Owen is saying, no way, I just saw you as live streaming. Sorry, Sharon Owen, I jumped on this at the last minute. I did a video last night. I was going to say, I think this protest tomorrow is going to be a flop. I genuinely didn't want it to be a flop, so I didn't do that video. Debbie Doobs is saying, I thought Urban Scoop would be there. D. Marie Gen X is saying, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Jemose Po is saying, good evening, Sean, because I think Jemose Po is in New Zealand. What's your opinion on the supposed letter Trump suing Murdoch over? Do you know what? Yeah. So Donald Trump's filed a lawsuit against Rupert Murdoch. I don't even know anymore, guys. But I mean, I think the main thing I'm thinking about at the moment with Donald Trump is Donald Trump's calling for the release of the Epstein files. I'm like, hang on a minute, Donald. Didn't you say there was no Epstein files like a couple of weeks ago? Can you see the direction of politics now, guys? You just kick the can down the road. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do it awesome. You know, we're going to smash the gangs. And it's really easy politics. You literally just need to talk a good game. You don't actually need to do anything. Debbie Doobs is saying, I agree, Sean, we need multiple protests at the same time. Yeah, guys, look, okay. Yeah, I don't want to be over. Guys, listen, I can only say what I'm seeing at the moment. The Dover protest, it does look like it's a bit of a flop. Yeah, it does look like it's a bit of a flop. Joshua Harrison is saying, if something is going to be done, then it will have to be a national effort, not just a few hundred. Joshua Harrison, so what I'm saying here, guys, okay, what I'm saying when I talk about national efforts, when I talk about real change, ladies and gentlemen, is not going to happen by a couple of thousand people marching down Westminster, a couple of thousand people. Not that that's the case. A couple of thousand people turning up at Dover Beach. Real change is going to happen with small groups of determined. In fact, hang on. There's a saying somewhere. I think it was Margaret Thatcher. And she said something like, somebody said to Margaret Thatcher, how can so much change happen by a small group of determined people? I think Margaret Thatcher turned back and said, when was it not? And I think that's true, guys, okay? So small groups of determined people, locally driven, locally administered, will affect more change to your local area than these thousands of people, alleged thousands of people turning up. So Paul Poops is saying, Swan talking about Knights just opens Facebook and an advert for Knights tournament at the Castle. Yeah, Sean talking about Knights Temple, right? Okay, so yeah. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that our social media is listening to us. We do. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you've been to Ukraine or not, but when I used to work in Ukraine, people used to put their phones in the fridge. If they were having like a sensitive conversation, they'd be like, Sean, give me your phone. I'm like, oh. And everybody had to put their phone in the fridge. Debbie Doobs, people are more likely to protest locally. Yeah, that's where I think it's going to be, guys. I do think it's going to happen at local level. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining for the first time, we are talking, we are discussing, I'm giving you guys live analysis of the situation in Dover. It's the Great British National Protest in Dover. Guys, listen, I've got to be out. Oh, hang on, he's speaking. Guys, Yeah.
We are very proud citizens today. We are here. We love our country. We want to respect the rights of us all.
You guys that are on YouTube and X, can you guys hear this? Can you guys hear this that are on YouTube and X?
Appreciate that. I've got a bit of a whistle to you, so I'll start dribbling. Thanks, Bruce. But honestly, seriously, I know a lot of you have travelled around the UK to get here today. It's very important. What this government and corruption is doing, what beautiful country is so sad to see, and they are ignoring it. In my opinion, on purpose. I can't have speculation. And if it wasn't down to us, then people wouldn't know this message. If we are the new media, all these cameras here today, you guys are the new media. The media didn't want people to know about this. The media does not want the narrative to change, but we are doing that, ladies and gentlemen. And if it wasn't for us, we would not be getting millions of views worldwide about the corruption going on our streets, the lack of protection for our women and children, the lack of prosperity for our future, and everything that our ancestors fought for is being taken away from us. And you all need to give yourself a massive pat on the back for coming here today, because this is just the start. And we need more and more people joining this peacefully, making a stand for the right message. We do not want violence. We do not want chaos in the streets, but we do demand a change, and we will get that done. Thank you.
Guys, look again. I've got to be honest, guys. I've got to be honest. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest, but I'm going to be honest. I'm just not going to say anything. I think it's best I don't say anything about this, guys. Okay. It doesn't. We need charisma, guys. Okay.
I think we can make a really serious change. So thank you all for coming so much. Mingle, I'll follow you all. I'm sure all the creators will. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for coming.
So, I mean, the image here, guys, is just apps. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I get it. People are trying to organize. People are trying to do good stuff, and that's fine, you know. I mean, there's this guy, I'm assuming that he's a bodyguard. I mean, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, look, I've done diplomatic security at the highest levels. I mean, like prime ministers, presidents, you know, I've done all those things. And there's this guy here, and he's got like body armor on. He's got a carabiner in his body armor. I don't know what that's for. He's got a med kit. He's got gloves. Why has he got gloves on? Like, why has he got gloves on? Why has he got gloves on? You know, he's got like beard and Viking hair and a top knot, and it's just giving the wrong image for me, guys. It's just giving him the wrong. It's just, to me, it's just this whole thing's giving the wrong image. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, real change is going to be done by you. All right, stop putting faith in other people. Stop putting faith. Stop giving your money away. Charity starts at home. Okay, real change is going to start by people at a local level standing up, guys. Okay. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right, if you guys are just joining, I'm looking at the live feed from Dover Beach, and I would say there's about 500 people there. I'd say there's about 500 people there. Real change, guys, real change, and the summer of carnage is going to come this year, but it's not going to be led by one person. And I mean, no disrespect to this guy who's trying to do a good thing. You know, he really is trying to do a good thing, guys. Okay, I genuinely believe that. But where he's putting his energy in the wrong place. And what will happen is he will burn out. He will burn out because he doesn't understand. To understand what's going on in the country, guys, you need to understand subversion. you know, you need to understand ideological subversion, because without understanding ideological subversion, you can't even grasp the size of the, you know, you can't even grasp the size of the problem. Guys, so I'm just going to jump up and get the rest of the comments on TikTok, guys. Hang on, let me jump up. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, there is a protest on Dover Beach as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. There's a protest on Dover Beach. I don't think they've got the numbers that they expected. You know, it is what it is, guys. You know, sometimes they don't go out, sometimes they do. Like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, like I always say, real change is going to come when people mobilize in their local area. And this is not going to be led by one person. This is not going to be led by one group. This is going to be people at local level taking matters into their own hands. And the quicker people understand this, and the quicker people stop thinking that somebody else is going to do things for them, you know, the quicker things will change. Rummy UK saying people have learned from last year. Yeah, I think what Rummy is talking about there is, you know, the masses of people getting arrested. Googly is saying we need protests like Northern Ireland. Rummy is saying protests like the French. Cosmic is saying the rain doesn't help. No, the rain doesn't help, guys. It really doesn't. You know, you can't really do much about the British weather. It's hit and miss. Doesn't really matter what the weather forecast says. Debbie Doobs is saying, tap the screen, guys. Rummy UK is saying, this is getting embarrassing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be negative, guys. I do think that a lot of things could be, you know, could be changed. Googly is saying, standing there isn't going to do anything. Do you know what? Do you know what, Googly? That would make a fantastic t-shirt. Wouldn't that make a fantastic t-shirt? Standing there isn't going to do anything, isn't doing anything. And I agree, guys, standing there waving your flag is not doing anything. Saying, oh, look at us, look at us. Do you know who's not looking at you? I mean, let's be honest, guys. And again, you know, I keep having to say this because I know how negative this sounds, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm being negative for the right reasons, okay? I'm being negative because I do want positive change in this country. So, you know, so positive change in this country would be where people like you, me, taxpayers have control. And by, you know, and I don't think people, you know, I mean, let's just contextualize this, guys, right? Okay. How much change do you like? I mean, do you think if Keir Starmer gets sent these pictures of like less than 500 people on Dover Beach, do you think that he's gonna he's gonna go, oh, hang on, Angela, get in, love. What's up, mate? Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to stop the boats. Why? Oh, there's 500 people turned up at Dover Beach. Oh, 500, yeah. And what happened when they were there? Oh, there were some really, really inspirational speeches, guys. There were some really passionate speeches. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Real change is going to come at local level, guys. That is it. Cosmic is saying, I agree, Sean, it's a serious subject. Saying all this is not going to do anything. I agree, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, guys, we're all in agreement. We all want change. We all want things to be better in this country. We all want to feel that safety, don't we? We all want to feel safe. And I think ultimately that's what people want. And right now, people just don't feel safe. Debbie Doobs is saying we want our country back. Oh, hang on. Right, Google is saying all these idiots in other comments. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, yeah, so I'm looking at the live stream now, guys, and there is a lot of, look, guys, listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aunts and uncles, nans and dads, dogs and cats, goldfish and hamsters. An overarching theme of this channel, when I talk about the United Kingdom, when I talk about the problems we've got, an overarching theme of this channel has always been real change is going to happen at local level. So you can organise a 1 million man, organise a 10 million man march through London, 100 million, fly people in from other countries. I mean, we're doing that anyway. You know, a 1 billion man march, that's fine. That's how, like, I'm really trying here, guys, to use my words right, because I don't want to be I don't want to. Anybody who's doing something is better than doing nothing, all right? So let me just ask you this question, guys. Let's just say that you live in, Doncaster, all right? Let's just say you live in Doncaster, all right? Yeah. Just go with me on this. Whatever town you're from, ladies and gentlemen, the United Kingdom or city or whatever. Let's just say, like, whatever, Doncaster for argument's sake. Let's just say you live in Doncaster, all right? So you live in Doncaster and you're really angry about migration and the migrant hotel that's just popped up near where you live, and you're worried because your kids are scared to go out on the street. So what you do, you take a day off work, you go to London, you spend your money, you get a night in a hotel if you can afford one, if you can find one, you pay £8 for a pint of beer in the pub. How is that directly helping your situation? Yeah, you've made yourself feel good by showing your support to a national movement, and I get that. But how has it helped you? Like, how has it helped you? How has it done anything to affect your situation? And this is what I'm getting at, guys, okay? These problems need to be dealt with at local level. Local people need to organize. Local people need to do these things. Now, you've got like 500 people here turn up, and, we're claiming that there's going to be 1 million people next month in London. Like, if those 1 million people broke down into groups of 1,000 and all went and protest outside 1,000 different hotels, what do you think could have the most change? Just answer me that question, guys, in the chats, okay? So 1 million people marching through London, yeah? Or 1,000 people protesting outside 1,000 hotels. What do you think is going to have more change? What do you think is going to have more impact on communities? I don't know. Maybe marching through London would have more impact. I don't know. I would speculate not. I think it needs to be done at local level. I think local people need to take the bull by the horns and deal with these things at local level, guys, okay? And what we're seeing now, guys, from Dover Beach, I don't think they've certainly not got the numbers they'd hoped for. They've certainly not got the numbers that they'd hoped for. Just jumping up, guys, and getting these comments on TikTok. Debbie Doobs is saying, spot on, Sean. Googly saying, Googly, I can't read that comment. Googly. Right, guys, I can't read certain comments, and Googly, I'm surprised that comment's not been filtered out. But I will read the rest of your comments, Googly. Debbie Doobs is saying, the idiot comments are better just ignored. That hurts them more than responding. Have we got idiot comments on here, guys? Have we got idiot? I don't think we have, not on here. Or are we talking about on YouTube? I don't know. I've not looked at YouTube yet. Guys, I'll come over to YouTube in a minute, guys, but I'm going to get all the comments down on YouTube, TikTok at the moment. Googly is saying, Tommy Robinson is the only one who can... Yes! Right, Googly. Googly's hit the nail on the head here, guys, okay? So, Googly's saying Tommy Robinson is the only one who can gather huge amounts of followers for protests. Yes, I agree, Googly. Now, why did they let Tommy Robinson out of jail early? Or why did they let him out ready for the summer? You see where I'm going with that, guys? You see where I'm going with that, yeah? You see where I'm going with that? And look, guys, let me just say this. I don't think he should have ever been in jail. I think I want him to be with his family. If he wants to take my advice, I'd say get out of the country, take your family, because I don't want to see him back in jail, because, I do think he's going to end up back in jail. It is what it is. Cosmic is saying DN Massive. I don't know what that means, DN Massive. Rumi is saying it's September the 13th is the Tommy Robinson rally. Debbie Doobs is saying we need to affect the whole country at once. Yes, and this is when it'll come, Debbie Doobs. Listen, guys, it's going to come this. Oh, hang on, somebody speaking.
Fascist because I didn't agree with mixed toilets in secondary schools. I am sick to the fat teeth of a 600 to 1,000 telly and getting paid for everything.
Honestly, guys, listen, I can't take this live stream seriously with that guy. Guys, do you know what I'm talking about? The guy with the beard. I'm looking at the live stream now of the, it's a couple of minutes late. The guy in the background with the beard and the, you know, the top knot in the hair, and he's got the body armor on, and he's got the gloves and the glasses. Oh, honestly, you know, like part of doing security is you don't want people to know that you are security, all right? You know, I mean, this guy, he doesn't need security where he is right now, so this guy does not need to be standing right there behind him. You know, he needs a team because one guy, like, listen, I don't know how tough you are, but one person on their own you can't do anything on your own, guys. You need at least a team of like 4, I'd say 6, 4 people, 2 vehicles. Anyway, guys, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, anyway. Debbie Doobs is saying we need to affect the whole country at once. I think it's coming this year, guys. Okay, this is. I'll give you a breakdown on how I believe it's going to happen at this year, guys. Okay. Cosmic is saying true. It's got to start at home. Debbie Doobs is saying the police can't be everywhere at once. Look, guys. Okay, now this work. Listen, guys. Okay, everybody like. At the moment, we're seeing protests in one direction. Not the band One Direction, but we're seeing protests in one direction at the moment. There's going to be a time coming very soon when we're going to start to see Islamist protests. You know, we're going to start to see people in hotels protesting. All hell is about to break loose. You know, and at that point, you know, everybody's going to be asking the pressure on the police is going to be absolutely unbelievable, guys. And as Debbie Doobs is saying there, you know, the police can't be everywhere at once. So at the end of this live stream, guys, we're going to start talking about little measures that you can do to protect yourselves and your family. And I'll say this once, I'll say it again, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. The time that you can lock your door and hide behind your fence is over, all right? That time's over. We need to come together as communities. We need to come together as localities. We need to come together in Dunbar's number. We need to come together, guys, okay? Because codependence is independence. Cosmic is saying that would speak louder than words, the smaller ones. Yeah, guys, listen, I keep talking about this. You know, the real change is going to come. The real change is going to come when people start protesting at local level. If those millions started to march inside number 10, that's a good idea. I can remember, I know that some special forces guy got sent into number 10 a couple of months ago, or like maybe last year, I think it was, because they were going to have to airlift all the politicians out. Paul Poops is saying the police force. Oh, hang on. Right, guys, there's certain messages I can't read out because I'll get into trouble, okay? So certain messages I can't read out, guys, okay? Joe Will is saying police force needs to be... All right, okay, I can say this actually. Joe Will is saying if I'll pin it. Joe Will is saying the police force needs a huge overhaul made up of scrawny kids straight out of uni. Yeah, I would say that as well. But who do you go to? Oh, and listen, ladies and gentlemen, I was watching. You know the Manchester Airport. You know the Manchester Airport video? You know how I've been very critical of that girl who gets whacked in the nose and she's crying and screaming? Well, listen, guys, there's another girl in that image. There's another girl in that footage, and she is as rock and roll as it gets. She's as rock and roll as it gets. So I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there's a full footage. It's been released. The guy in the blue, he's throwing hands. He hits the ginger-haired girl. There's a girl with blonde hair. She's one of the arresting officers. There's a girl with blonde hair. She's the one who actually takes him down in the end. So there's a girl with blonde hair. Guys, listen, like, I mean, I know, like, I've been critical over women in frontline roles, but this girl is rock and roll. I mean, you've got the distance here between a mixed martial arts fighter and a boxerciser. So this girl, in this melee that happens, she gets hit. she gets knocked back. I was watching her as she got knocked back. She didn't back down. She got knocked back and she just went straight forwards at him again. She gets knocked down again. But what I'm getting at here, guys, is her body language, her persona, her movements, her posture. It's really aggressive, guys, and I was really impressed by her. She then draws down and takes him down with a taser. But guys, listen, I like hats off to her. She's, she is absolute. She's like, she's my, she's number one operator for me, guys. Number one operator. Eagle-eyed PI over on YouTube is saying, what do you suggest people do at local level? Guys, listen, what I suggest people do at local level is protest at local level. This is what I'm getting at, guys, okay? So the comment over from YouTube, from, is it YouTube or is that X? From YouTube is, what do we expect people to do at local level? I would protest at local level. Rather than rather than going down, like, contextualize it, guys. All right, contextualize it. All right. Let's just say, like I said before, you're from Doncaster and a hotel's opened up. A hotel has opened up in Doncaster, right where you live. Your kids are scared to go to school. They're being harassed. X, Y, and Z. So you go to London to protest. How's that going to affect your local area? So what I would say is, people need to unite, people need to mobilize, people need to get together. And if you've got, like I would say this to anyone, if there's something wrong with your local area, guys, go and protest outside City Hall or Town Hall or whatever. Go and protest outside that hotel if it's legal and safe to do so. Right, I'm just coming down these comments. Rummy is saying still makes no difference. Googly is saying we need 50 Eppings. We need it like Epping 50 times. Debbie Doob saying tap the screen. Googly is saying they had to get multiple counties. Look, guys, this is what I've always said. Guys, okay, policing in the United Kingdom, they do not have the capacity. They do not have the manpower to deal with multiple events, guys, okay? So when we're talking about big protests, big marches in London, fine. You can call assets and resources from other counties. Absolutely fine. Do you know what you can't do? When there's an ongoing event, and again, guys, listen, this is the example I gave you, and this is where I think we're going this year. They do this in Northern Ireland, so what I'm saying is not like controversial. It's not controversial, and it's not like a new tactic or anything. This happens constantly in Northern Ireland, So they will have a protest at, let's just say Epping, for example. Let's just say I'm going to make some things up here, guys, because I don't know, but you'll understand the point I'm trying to get. Let's just say the Bell Hotel in Epping was the first protest planned, okay? People turn up, they're getting leery. As Google is saying quite rightly there, okay, it took 3 different counties to reinforce that location. So the protest going on, people are getting leery, they call in reinforcements. Once those reinforcements are called in, if people block the streets by, buying a couple of cheap cars and burning them out in the roads, and I'm not suggesting that you do that, I'm saying that's what's coming. I'm saying that's what they do in Northern Ireland. That's what they do in the Middle East. It's a tactic, guys, okay? Those police officers then are blocked in. You get where I'm going with this, guys? And then the real protest, everybody goes, scatter! Everybody runs off then and goes to the other protest, which is the, the Ramada Jarvis in Epping or something. You see where I'm going, guys, okay? All those police are trapped. They can't leave that location now. And then that's the direction of travel that I think we're going. But guys, listen, every action has a positive and negative reaction. Or does it? I think it does, or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. Then you're going to have the scenes of people in these hotels becoming fearful for their own lives. They're going to be coming out swinging. And then you're going to have melee, guys, and people are going to get hurt. Escalation after escalation after escalation. Everybody's going to be blaming the police. Everybody's going to be blaming each other. And we have, alas, the summer of carnage. Arnold Schwarzenegger in these hotels, Debbie Doof saying, do that accent again. I can't do the accent again. I'll try it in a bit. Rummy is saying, what about Russia? That one has gone quiet. Well, do you know what? It's not gone quiet if you live in Ukraine. The Ukrainians, from what I'm being told, From what I'm being told, guys, the Russians are pushing every day in the east of Ukraine. They're taking around 20. They're taking around 20 square kilometers every day. It's just that the media seem not to be reporting on it. Oh, is somebody rapping on the beach now? Google is saying, oh no, not rapping on the beach. Oh God, are people rapping on the beach now? Is that where we've got to?
In response to that, the speakers at Speaker's Corner have all...
Yeah, guys, listen, I'm going to call it now. With all due respect, this great British national protest on Dover Beach has been an absolute flop, guys, okay? It's been an absolute flop, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to say that, but I've got to be honest with you guys. It's been an absolute flop. Look, and it just reiterates what I've been saying all along. Real change is going to come at local level, guys, okay? It's not going to come at national level. It's going to come at local level. And I think it's best that there is, actually, I think it's best that there is no overall leadership, because when there's an overall leadership, when there's an overall leader, that leader can be taken down, guys. It can be taken down. I mean, people need to start thinking Batman. Batman became an idea. He became a symbol. He became something elemental. A man can be stopped, can be bought, can be paid off, can be destroyed. But an idea, I think maybe we should go more Batman. Maybe we should go Batman. But an idea, how do you stop an idea? How do you stop an idea? You can't. And this is what we talk about: ideological warfare, subversion, which I would pretty much suspect none of these people understand. Listen, guys, every time I think I may have to try and find another live stream, because this guy on the this guy with the body armor on, he's anyway. Google is saying Keir Starmer is definitely laughing at this. Yeah, you can imagine now, can't you? You can imagine right now, all the people, like all these liberals, like what's his name? That the gay guy, the Jones. I want to say Alex Jones, but I know it's not. I don't know, this guy called, I think this is his name, Gary Jones or something. I don't know. You can imagine him watching this now and just laughing to himself, can't you, guys? You can just, oh, hang on, we've got more.
So we're going to mix it up a little bit now, because here we have Mrs. Kent. Lots of people will have seen her online, I'm sure. You've got lots and lots of followers. And she likes to sing songs, politically charged songs. So that's what you're going to do, aren't you? Nice one. The stage is yours. You let me know when to hit play. I'll want a bit of reverb on top.
We're having a song, guys. We're having a politically charged song. Let's compare this lady to Kate Bush, guys, because I know Kate Bush is from Kent.
That's good in. There you go. No, you don't need your camera. 4, 9, 7. So what I need to do is more patient, turn it up.
I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, so she's, so we've got karaoke singer now. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, in case you've just joined us, we are talking about the great British national protest on Dover Beach. it's been a bit of a flop, guys. It's been a bit of a flop. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a bit of a flop, but it just reiterates what I've been saying to you guys. Listen, guys, I'm always right. I'm never wrong. I'm not. I'm never wrong. Even when I'm right, even when I am wrong, even when I am wrong, it turns out I was more right being wrong than I was being right. So the Great British National Protest, guys, it does look like it's been a bit of a washout. It does look like it's been a bit of a flop. Debbie Doobs is saying that song is pretty good. To be fair, it is pretty good. You know, I'm just lacking the. I'm just not seeing the. I'm not seeing the spark in the crowd, guys. Okay, I'm not seeing the spark in the crowd. I'm not seeing the ferocity. I'm just not seeing it, guys. I'm really not. I've got this. You know, there's this guy in the background. He's got blue denim jeans on. He's got like military type boots on. Oh, he's even got his blood group on his body armor in case. I don't know what he's expecting. He's got body armor on, guys. There's a guy in the background with body armor on, okay? So this, you know, this guy, Great British National Protest, he's obviously employed this guy as a bodyguard, or he said he's going to do it for free. Like, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if somebody turned up and said to me, I'm going to be your bodyguard, I'm going to wear body armor, I'm just going to say, stop, apply a safety catch, mate. I'm good. I'm good. Look, guys, I've done diplomatic security at literally the highest levels. I'm talking about high-ranking diplomats, presidents, prime ministers, you know, and it's just not what you do, guys, okay? It's not what you do. So I can tell straight away that this guy doesn't know what he's doing, and he just gives the wrong image, guys, okay? Image is everything. It would have been a lot better if he just turned up there on his own. If he has security, those security should be standing off to the sides, guys, okay? Not directly behind him, because you know what happens if you're looking at taking someone out? You take the security out first. So he's standing there saying, I mean, has he even got an SIA badge? I don't even know how this works, guys. Alas, let's continue. Debbie Doobs is saying, where's Vera Lynn? Google it. Standing there chanting isn't going to cause change. Action does. Yeah, I agree, Google it 100%, guys, okay? And Google is saying as well, it's not karaoke. And it's not karaoke, ladies and gentlemen. Like, while they're doing karaoke, so let's just take the Doncaster for again, guys, okay? Let's just say we're in Doncaster again, all right? So we gave a little example earlier on about if you lived in Doncaster. Let's just say that some of these people on this protest are from Doncaster. What do you think's happening in Doncaster while these people are showboating on Dover Beach? Guys, listen, real change is going to come at local level. It's not going to be led by one person. It's going to be led at local level. Everybody, you know, but people are going to be going the same direction. It's going to start this summer. I would suspect it's already started already, you know, where you've got kids turning up to hotels, throwing bricks, throwing rocks. And that is how it's going to start, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it's going to start. When I was in Iraq in 2003, hang on, maybe I can talk, maybe I can't talk about this. I don't know. Just a quick comment here, guys, from X. Alan Taylor Shearer is saying, most people won't get involved until it directly impacts them. Most have too much to lose. Exactly. This is why people are not going to like, but equally the flip side of that coin, ladies and gentlemen, the flip side of that coin, when people take action locally, they see real results. They see real results. Now, I would speculate that there's no migrants going back into that hotel in Epping, you know. So you can argue that those protests in Epping, at the Bell Hotel in Epping, you could argue that they've been more successful for the, you know what, I think that's a good, let me just Google this, guys, and see if I can, you know what, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. So what I'm getting at here, ladies and gentlemen, those people in Epping, and I don't know if this is the case, guys. I genuinely don't know if this is the case. But, for example, if those migrants get moved out of that hotel in Epping, is that what those people... Hang on, sorry, guys, I need to articulate this right. Right, if the migrants get moved out of the hotel in Epping, that's what the protesters wanted, right? Yeah, that's what they wanted, right? Yeah, okay, good, right, tick in the box. If those people had have all gone down to London and protest through the streets of London, do you think those migrants would still be in that hotel in Epping? Or do you think, because there was 1 million people in London, that, you know, they said, right, close that hotel down in Epping? You see where I'm going with this, guys? You see where I'm going with this? Like, do you understand where I'm going with this? Like, 1 million people in London, how's that going to help you if you live in Doncaster? How's that going to help you? you see where I'm going, guys, okay? Local, real change is going to come at local level. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start, we're going to close over and we're going to go over to, YouTube and X in a minute. But in fact, I'm not sure. Maybe we're just going to take them all down, actually. Hang on. Hang on. Watcher Harrison is saying the protest will last an hour. I'm just going to leave it there, guys. Watcher Harrison has just said the protest will last an hour. I'm just going to leave it there. Debbie Doobs is saying, did you see the razor blade stuck in the fence at the Bell Hotel? No, I didn't. Googly is saying censored like crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of censoring going on, guys. Listen, I have no input with the censoring on TikTok, guys. Rome is saying, want to know how this protest is going to make a difference. Rome, I don't think it is. I think it's been a flop. I do think it's been a flop. Right, let me jump up and make sure I've not missed any comments. I think I've got all the comments. Yeah, I've got all the comments. Right, ladies and gentlemen, just quickly before we go on the live stream. If somebody was to say to me, Sean, how do I secure my area? Like, how do I secure where I live? Guys, look, there's lots of things you can do, lots and lots and lots of things, but when I used to go around and do security audits in like Syria, Eastern Ukraine, Baghdad, Erbil, you have to work on the big things, all right? You have to work on the thing that's going to give you the most, you've got to work on the thing that's going to give you the most security, quickest, with least. Yes, of course, we all want biometric retina scanners and, 30-foot concrete walls and barbed wire fences. Yeah, we all want that. The cost is prohibitive, all right? So we can't have that. So if somebody would say to me, Sean, what could I do that would give me the most security, quickest, with the least resources? I would say, control your access and egress. Control your access and egress, guys, okay? So wherever you live now, think about it. Wherever you live, whether you live on an estate, whether you live on, wherever you live, guys, it doesn't really matter. Just think about where you live. Think about how you would restrict access to where you live. Now, I'm going to give you the example of a housing estate because it's easy. Everywhere is going to be different, guys, okay? But everywhere is going to be different. So imagine you live on a housing estate, all right? Think about the roads going into that housing estate. And I know conspiratorially, is that a word? Conspiratorially, I know that most of the housing estates that are being built now have one access and egress route. All right, that's really easy to control. So what you need to do is you need to consider, right? Okay, maybe me and the 2 streets over, we're going to say, right, if everything collapses and there's marauding gangs driving around, we're going to put a checkpoint on there and we're going to have somebody, and you go around the houses, say, right, number 1, you're responsible for the first hour. House number 2, you're responsible for the second hour. House number 3, and so forth. And just rotate it around yourselves. If you've got like 48 houses on your street, that's an hour. That's an hour you have to stand there every 2 weeks. Every 2 days. It's nothing, guys. It's nothing to provide yourself security. Right? You only let people. And I don't think there's any laws being broke there, guys. Okay. If the people of that street are controlling who comes onto their street, I think that's totally fine. Equally, you may have to close roads down. You may have to say, right, okay, we're going to close everything up from Raven Street. We're going to close Raven Street off. It's just off now. We're closing it. No access in or out. We're closing West Street and North Street, and the access to our housing estate will be on Jones Street or something, and then we're going to put a checkpoint on Jones Street. You've protected your area, guys, okay? Gone are the days where we can think of security by putting fences up and hiding behind our doors, guys. It's not going to happen, okay? Independence is codependence. People need to start working together as communities. People need to start coming together in Dunbar's number. Yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, of course, things like CCTV cameras, brilliant deterrents, guys, absolutely fantastic deterrents. Things like motion sensor lights, absolutely brilliant. Okay, lots of things you can do, if you've got the budget for it, if you've got the finances for it. Lots of things you can do, guys. Rummy is saying, I live in a Navy port. Oh, Rummy lives in a Navy port. I do love a glass of port, guys. I know that's not the port you're talking about. Plymouth doesn't have migrant hotels. Well, we're talking about migrant hotels, guys, but listen, from you guys in the chat, we've heard, we have actually heard that migrants are now being put in, caravan parks, in holiday homes. And again, guys, listen, I didn't know that this was even a thing. I really didn't. I did not know that this was a thing. There's the other day I was on the live. I did a video the other day, and guys, listen, I genuinely didn't know this was happening. The other day I did a video. I said, guys, listen, I've just spoken to a friend of mine, and he says that where he has a caravan, and he's just been told that caravan park has been bought by an international investor. They're putting the rent up 25% and making everybody lowball offers on the caravans, and then they're going to put migrants in. Turns out from you guys, a lot of you guys were concurring, saying that is definitely happening. A lot of you guys were saying, yeah, it's already happening where I live. Somebody was saying this has been happening for 3 years in Skegness. Lots of places in the United Kingdom do look like they're having, migrants are now going in holiday parks. Let me ask you this question real quick, guys. If you went to a caravan for a weekend or whatever, and it was overly heavy with migrants, which are predominantly fighting age men, would you feel safe having your kids run about? Would you feel safe having your kids running around like they do? I don't know. Maybe you would. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me just have a quick last update on what's going on. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just watching for the first time, if you're just jumping on at the moment, we're talking about the Great British National Protest on Dover Beach. I'm calling it, guys. It does look like a bit of a flop. Guys. And I don't mean to be negative by that. I've just got to say what I see. Yesterday, I was going to do a video. And I was going to say, I think it's going to be a flop tomorrow, guys. The location, the timing. It's hard for people to get to Dover. It does turn out like it's going to be a flop. Now, I'm not being negative to anyone who's trying to do things, because this kid who's doing this, he's really passionate about what he's doing, and I wish him all the success in the world. I really do. What I'd say to him is he needs to understand more about ideological subversion. Once people understand ideological subversion, you know where we are as a country, and you know what's coming next. Releasing Tommy Robinson from jail was ideological subversion. It was ideological subversion. These two guys, the Manchester Airport 2, who allegedly had fisticuffs, leaving their trial until almost a year after the incident, ideological subversion. Ricky Jones, leaving his trial until almost a year after the incident. Ideological subversion, guys, okay? And once you understand all this is in the mix, you understand that these big protests are not, these mass protests, I'll say mass protest, organizing a big protest, guys, it's not going to change anything. Like I keep saying, I said quite a few times today, guys, okay? Imagine right now you live in Doncaster, all right? Imagine right now you live in Doncaster, and 50 of you, you're so angry about these migrant hotels opening up next door to a school, and there's certain things happening with the kids. You're so angry, all 50 of you, you spend your money, your time. You take a day off work. You take you get a hotel in London if you can find one. You know, you're paying £8 a pint. It's cost to go down there. A day off work. You go down there. You have a protest in London. How's that changing anything in Doncaster? I don't know. How is that changing anything in Doncaster? Is it? Is it going to change anything in Doncaster? Well, if we look at what happened in Epping, what we've seen in Epping is if people protest at local level, that's where real change is going to happen, guys, okay? And it's not going to be organised by one person. It's not going to be organised by one group. It's going to be an idea. It's going to be an idea that's so delicate, any more than a whisper, it might vanish. But that's where things are going to change, guys, okay? When people get an idea, and that idea spreads. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close you guys down now on TikTok. I'm not sure if I will be back later on today. Yeah, I guess that's it. I'll be over on YouTube for a couple of minutes, guys. Listen, if you've not done so, ladies and gentlemen, can you like, comment, subscribe, all the things that help this channel grow? Really do appreciate it when you guys do that. And share my stuff, ladies and gentlemen, guys, okay? Share my stuff. I'm telling you what's coming next. I'm telling you what's coming next. And what's coming next is the summer of oh, hang on. A car has been, hang on, guys. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some breaking news here. Los Angeles latest, 27 minutes ago, guys. Breaking news, 27 minutes ago, ladies and gentlemen. Several critically injured after vehicle driven into crowd in Los Angeles. 3 people are in a critical condition after a vehicle drove into a crowd in Los Angeles. Los Angeles Fire Department, Public Information Officer Captain Adam Van Gerpen, told Sky News' US partner NBC the vehicle hit a taco cart before colliding with a large number of people outside a nightclub. So maybe that was last night. Apparently there was a vehicle that had somebody who'd lost consciousness, he said. We have reports there was a gunshot wound in one of the patients. Wow, it's been kicking off in Los Angeles, guys. Pictures from the scenes in Santa Monica Boulevard in East Hollywood. Isn't that where that Pink Pony Club is? Showed a damaged grey vehicle which has mounted the pavement with debris sown across the ground. Okay, so reading this, guys, it looks like, oh, hang on, let me try and, so reading this here, it looks like somebody's been come out of a nightclub a little bit too much inebriated, lost consciousness, and gone into a crowd of people outside a nightclub in Los Angeles. Right, let me just give a last minute thing on here, guys.
But we have to keep voting. It is, in my belief, the only thing we have. And if we don't use our democratic right to vote,
so there's a guy here and he's talking. So there's a guy here and he's got a green t-shirt on and he's talking about voting. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Google it. Google is on our, listen, Google it. You can tell Google is being triggered this morning. Google is saying an Afghan migrant brings 22 relatives to the UK. So let's just contextualize that, guys, shall we? So for every 1 million, let's just use those numbers and let's use Raven maths, okay? So for every one migrant that comes to the UK, what that really means is 22. Now do the numbers, guys. Now do the numbers. Anywho, because I was speaking to my Canadian friend. Protest in Hull. Right, let me see if there is a protest in Hull. Let me jump up. Let me see if there is a protest in Hull. Oh, give over. Oh, right. So hang on, guys. Okay. Right, so there is a protest in Hull. There is a protest in Hull. Guys, listen, I'm just getting this now. There is a protest in Hull. I'm seeing images of, hang on. No, sorry, that was from last year. That was from last year. That was from last year, guys. That was from last year. Right, I think there is a protest in Hull today. I can't find any update on it, guys. Hang on, let me just do... No, there is a protest today in Hull, guys, but I can't find anything of it on social media. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close this down now. I'm going to close you guys down now. I'm going to close you down both on TikTok and on YouTube at the same time, guys. Why? Well, I'm really busy at the moment. Hang on. It's a dog's life over on YouTube. It's just put, he's a cosplay bodyguard. Yeah, so you know the guy we've just been talking about, who's doing the bodyguard on Dover Beach. He is definitely a cosplay bodyguard. You know, he's definitely a cosplay bodyguard. He's probably watched too many. Probably watched too many movies, and he thinks that's how bodyguards dress. Sharon Owen is saying hey over on YouTube, and I'm saying hey right back. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to close you guys down on TikTok, and then I will be closing, and then I will be over on YouTube for a couple of minutes, actually, guys, after I've closed you lot down on TikTok. And listen, guys, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Have a great Saturday. Remember, the Summer of Carnage is coming. The Summer of Carnage is here, and I will, I will speak to you guys tomorrow. Right, how do I close this down now? How do I close this down? I forgot. Somebody told me not to sing, didn't they? Right, guys, I will see you whenever I see you. I'll be doing more videos today. If you want to help this channel out as well, guys, on TikTok, before you go, if you want to help this channel out, go and buy something for yourselves from our showcase, guys, okay? Go and have a look on our showcase. We have some pretty cool stuff on there. And we are off. We are off, ladies and gentlemen. We are just streaming with you good people now on YouTube and X. So the dynamics in Dover, guys, okay, as much as I hate to say it, it has been a flop. There's no getting around it, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the crowd now, guys, all right? I'm looking at the crowd in this... I'm looking at the crowd, and they just look Fredders. They just look Fredders. Like the crowd, they're just like, oh, God, is it time to go yet? The crowd don't look like they've got that spark. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, real change is going to come at local level. It always comes up. Let me find this speech, actually. Somebody said somewhere... It was Margaret Thatcher. It was Margaret. Oh, I'm pretty sure it was Margaret Thatcher. Was it Margaret Thatcher? No, it wasn't. Margaret Mead. Margaret Mead. It was Margaret Mead. Sorry, guys. It was Margaret Mead. So the quote is... So the quote is, I got it wrong, guys. I got it wrong. Listen, you guys are not here for me to give you didactically perfect internet spiel, are you? You're here for my real-time analysis. Sometimes I get quotes wrong. Sometimes I say it's from Margaret Thatcher and it was from Margaret Mead, so I do apologize. So a small group of thoughtful people could change the world indeed. It's the only thing that ever has. I think that's fair, guys. You know, a small group of determined people can change the world. It's the only thing that ever has. And this is what I'm talking about now, guys, okay? If you're watching this, okay, real change is going to come at local level. not going down to London and wasting your money and spending X, Y, and Z, or this group say we're gonna, oh, look at us, we've got all these bikes and leather jackets, give us £50 a month and you can phone this number and somebody might come. It's not gonna work, guys. It's not gonna work. Okay, it's gonna be local people taking local matters into local hands. That is it. A small group of determined people could change the world indeed. It's the only thing that ever has. And that's Margaret Mead, guys, okay? Not Margaret Thatcher. Now, that's what I do believe we're going to head into, guys, but it's not going to be organized by anyone. It's not going to be organized by anyone. It's going to be an idea. It's going to be a movement. It's going to be a movement of rejection. It's going to be a movement of independence. It's going to be a reinsurgence of British values. But then you've got to understand the flip side of this and what's going to happen, because every action has a positive and negative reaction. You're going to see, and again, this will happen. You will see scenes. The first couple of the first few times this happens to a hotel, people are going to be live streaming and they're going to be posting videos about it. I'm not. I'm going to be commenting about it, guys, and I'm telling you what's coming next. So you're going to see these things happen at the hotels as soon as the kids are off school and they're feeling feisty or whatever. They're going to be protesting at these hotels. It's going to get to a point. It's going to get to a point where the people in those hotels come out and and a clash is going to happen. Look, guys, I don't care who you are, all right? If you're a 16-year-old kid, you ain't doing nothing. Listen, guys, I was on, I've done quite a lot of martial arts and boxing and kickboxing and Muay Thai and MMA. If you're a 16-year-old kid, doesn't matter how hard you think you are. If, a 30-year-old, African male who's quite strong comes again, it's going one way, guys. It's really going one way. And this is what you're going to see happening. And those things are going to escalate. Where are the police? This is happening. That they're going to be pointing the fingers at them. And at some point, guys, it's not going to matter. Do you know why? Because the summer of carnage will have started. It's going to be a movement. It's going to be a direction. And that's the direction of travel right now, guys. Okay. Not going to be led by one person. It's not going to be led by one group. It's going to be an idea. And that idea is going to spread. And we can already see it spreading now, guys. Anyway, guys, Freddie is saying lefties in Hull. Freddie is saying lefties in Hull is live. Right, let me try and find this, guys. Lefties in Hull. Let me try and find this. So just for context, guys, this protest in Hull, this looks like it's going to go more violent straight away. This is like this protest that we've, in fact, let me try and share this with you guys. Give me a second, guys. Hang on, give me a second, guys. Just let me get this share screen on. Right, so I'll take that down. Right, so straight away, guys, you can see this looks like it's gonna. This looks a lot more. It looks like there's more of a standoff here, guys. Let's see what they're saying.
Everybody's disappearing now. The rain's drying them. The rain's driving them all away.
Everybody want to take it illegal? Go to your hotel, take them all.
Well, there we have it, guys. I guess scenes from Hull. As he said it there, the rain is driving them all away. Again, we've got to understand that the weather is going to dictate a lot of this stuff, guys, all right? Nobody wants to be out in the cold. Nobody wants to be out in the rain. And it's kind of like, when I used to do this at government level, I always used to say, right, okay, what's the weather like? what's the how many pubs are in that, like how many pubs are in that location. And I would give everybody the same thing each and every time. Right, if it's going to be cold, if it's going to be raining, don't worry about it. People are not going to be out there. If it's going to be a nice day, if it's going to be a weekend, if the kids are off school, close all the pubs within a mile radius and you'll be fine. People wouldn't listen to them. Oh, we've got to consult with our civil planners. Like, right, consult with whoever you want. I'm going home. But anyway, listen, guys. When I see people in masks with their faces covered, that to me just says trouble's coming, because we know that from last year, people who have been caught on facial recognition. Look, guys, if I go to one of these places, I'll always have my face open because I'm not going to get into any trouble. I'm far, I definitely don't want to get into any trouble. But every time I see people with their faces covered, to me, that says trouble is coming, because they don't want to be identified. They don't. And why would it? If you were going to be peaceful, if you were going to be nice, everything was going to be okay, why would you have your face covered? You wouldn't. Leanne is saying, Cardiff Council has said that people found guilty in the Ely riots in Cardiff will lose their tenancies. Do you think this could be the case across the country? Well, first of all, I don't know what the Ely riots were or are. I don't know what they are. It's going to be difficult to police, guys. Okay, the rioting is going to be very difficult to police. I think people have learned from last year, and people will go to these protests, and they will just be masked up now continuously. It's going to be very difficult. Like, it really is going to be difficult, guys, to identify people if they've got a mask on. It just is. It's very difficult. And what people will do is they will go after the easy targets. So the people who are easily identifiable, they'll go after them, and it's easy. It's going to be at local level, guys. Okay, so this protest, whatever's happening. Hang on, let me see what's happening. Let me have a look what's happening more in Hull. So whatever these things are, they're going to happen at local level. Look, I didn't even know that this one was happening in Hull, and we can speculate now that there's going to be flash protests. I called them flash. I said it was going to be flash mobs. Like I did a video and I said flash mobs, and I got a bit of pushback by saying it was flash mobs, but I think that's fair to say flash mobs. Flash mobs are 50, 100 people turning up, going absolutely bonkers for 30 minutes, then running off. That's the way I think that's the way we're going. I think that's the direction of travel, and it's almost impossible to stop, guys. It's almost impossible to stop when that happens, because the police don't have time to respond. When there's these, when there's the big protests that are well organized and well administered, it's very easy to police them. You know where people are, you know where to get assets and resources from. You can have a QRF, but that's the way I think it's going, guys. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been fantastic as always. Please, if you've not done so already, guys, can you like, comment, subscribe? The buttons down below if you're watching on YouTube, and I don't even know where they are on X. Wherever they are on X, guys, whatever buttons you can press to help me out with my, with this channel, I would really appreciate them, guys. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go. Oh, go on, then, Freddie, quick, Freddie, before I go, Freddie, I always wait out for you. Always wait for anyone who wants a little bit of last minute chat. Go on, Freddie. Right, Freddie, I'm waiting for Freddie's comment. In fact, let me have a look what's happening in Hull quickly while Freddie's typing. Yeah, I mean, it just looks like people are wet and standing around. But that what we saw there in Hull, that did look like there was more. That what we saw there in Hull, it did look like that had more capacity to kick off than the Great British Protest on Dover Beach. Right, Freddie, what would you do if the Epping incident happened to one of your children? I would join your cause. Oh, I think you'd have to do the same. Honestly, I don't think there's any other way around it. I think what they did in Epping, without going into like one-man Rambo stuff, I think what they did in Epping was the right way to do it. I mean, I mean, you can't, like, as one person, like, what do? You phone the police, you file a report, then you've got to gather evidence, then you've got, you see, it doesn't go anywhere. Then they've got to have due course, and then what are you going to do? Yeah, he was guilty, but he still lives in the hotel. Yeah, we've got no. You see where I'm going? I think what the people did in Epping was the right thing. Yeah, I think exactly what happened in Epping, guys. I think exactly what happened in Epping. I think, yeah, guys, I can't really say anything else. I think the way they dealt with that in Epping, yes, of course, some people were like, I get people being angry. I do, and I get that. I get it. I just don't see how attacking the police helps, and again, I think I'm biased. I've stood there as a on a riot shield, not a police officer, but certainly in the military, I've stood there on a riot shield, and I've had people attack me, and I've thought, I'm not your problem. Like, I've not done anything. Like, I'm literally, I'm from the military, from the barracks. We've been flown over and we've been told we've got to stand here with riot shields. And I know that's the same for a lot of the police. Some of the police do get like above their station, I feel. I saw the guy with the riot shield and he whacked the guy and took his teeth out. I only saw that recently. I think that was well out of order, guys, for the police. I do. I think it was well out of order for the police. I think attacking the police doesn't really, or the security forces. Again, look, guys, I'm somebody who's ex-security forces. I've been in the military. I've been in support of the police many times. So for me, when I see people attacking the police, I'm like, guys, come on. They've got a job to do, And the more you attack the police, the less sympathetic to your cause they're going to be. That's the reality. And I do think this, guys, we're going to have we're going to have situations in the United Kingdom pretty soon where the police lay down their shields. All right. I think that's going to be a case. I think the police are going to think, do you know what? No, I'm good. They're going to take the helmets off. They're going to lay down. Then they're going to be on the other side. I think that is. I might be wrong. But I do think it's certainly on the cards, guys. It is certainly on the cards. And I'm saying this because I was looking at the body language of the police officers in Epping outside the Bell Hotel, and I was thinking, I don't know, guys. There's intuition, guys. That's just intuition. So yeah. And Debbie Doobs. Oh, hang on. And Debbie Doobs is saying, didn't they say the girl was lying? I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if he said the girl was lying or not. That's when the migrants come in to play. Debbie Doobs is saying, so that's when the migrant. Yeah, Debbie, you are. Yeah. So look, guys, like, as wild as this is, I should probably do a standalone video on this and talk about this at the beginning. As wild as this sounds now, guys, like, to unpack in fact, let me put what Debbie Doobs is saying on the screen and then we'll unpack it. So Debbie Doobs is saying that's when the migrants come into play. So I can remember you guys, a lot of you guys saying, a lot of you guys were messaging me, private messages, and saying, Sean, are the government shipping in foreign soldiers? And I was like, no, guys, that's not happening. Well, I didn't say it's not happening. I said I don't see that happening. I feel that would be very, very unlikely that happened. Turns out those messages were right. The government were secretly shipping in thousands of foreign soldiers. So you've got to understand this. You've got to think, right, okay, let's just say everything collapses. And the police are like, well, do you know what, actually? I'm a duty sergeant and my daughter's being harassed now. Something's happened to my daughter and I'm a duty sergeant now. I live here. I know how bad things are. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. So duty sergeant goes, a couple of lieutenants, or I don't know what the ranking structure is in the police. A couple of more PCs go, and you see where I'm going with this, guys, okay? Who's going to fill that gap? There's a strong argument to say that private security using migrants as your workforce would be very loyal to whoever's paying them. Whereas I would say police have that affinity with where they live. For example, where I live, there's a cricket field up the road, and I remember going there as a kid, you know, and maybe a little bit younger than we should, and drinking, you know, and the lady had served us beer, and I remember spending my summers up there. I've got an affinity with my local area. I've got an affinity with where I live. I'm not going to let anything like jeopardize that, you know, but people who come here, they don't have that affiliation. They don't have that affinity. So it's very easy just to pay them and tell them to do stuff. But yeah, that's what Debbie Doobs is saying. Freddie is saying, I imagine how you would feel those anti-pro. Yeah. Freddie, I know exactly what you mean, mate. I know exactly what you mean. You know, you've got, yeah, so in Epping, you've got these protesters calling you racist because something's happened to your daughter. It's disgusting. And then Harry is saying, didn't the police walk down with the counter paid actor protesters? Yes, I don't think they walked down with them. I don't think they walked down with them. I may be wrong, Harry. I think they took them back. I think that's the scene that I saw. I might be wrong. It's a very difficult situation when you're the police. You're there to police the situation, to stop harm coming to people, right? So if you've got 20, 50 people that are in harm's way, get them in minibuses and get them out. Get them out. Take X away from Y, and there's no trouble. So it's a very difficult situation the police are in. Look, guys, I'll say this again. In the whole, I think the policing around Epping was done well. Yes, there was massive problems, okay? Somebody got hit by a car. The guy with the riot shield no way that guy should have been hit in the face with the riot shield. It was absolutely ridiculous. On a whole, I don't think the police did a bad job, guys, okay? It's very difficult when you're in those scenarios. It's very difficult when you're in those situations. It's very difficult when you've got pressure coming from someone else. You're on the ground, you're trying to make decisions. Naturally, things go wrong. All right, naturally things go wrong. As a whole, guys, I do think the policing went well. And again, I'll say it before. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I do think we're in a situation very soon where we're going to start to see police downing shields, guys. I really do. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being on. Thanks for hanging out with me. The Great British Dover protest is what it is, guys, okay? People are trying to help. People need to channel their energy more locally, guys, okay? Anyway, I'm gonna finish there, guys. I'm going to turn this off now, and I do hope you have a great Saturday. Try and get the barbecue lit, guys. Get the barbecue lit. Have a few beers. I'll see you later. And if you're watching this, you are the resistance.